Hello everybody, this is Mr. DeSimone and I'm making this video for my saxophone and clarinet players. This video is for you so you can learn how to practice putting together and taking apart your mouthpiece and your reed, okay? I'm going to start with the clarinet, but there are 5 parts for each of these instruments that you have to know. Some of them are very similar or the same, okay? And there's one difference, okay? Firstly, there is a part that comes on your mouthpiece, okay? Mine is metal for the clarinet, but yours will be plastic, and it fits on the mouthpiece. It's called your mouthpiece cap, okay? This is a guard. This protects the reed and the mouthpiece when you're not playing, okay? So we're gonna put that right there. Now, this is my mouthpiece for the clarinet, okay? It's plastic, and then there's a cork around the bottom here. One of the things we do, probably once a week, especially in winter, is we use cork grease. Now, this is not chapstick, okay? This is not that kind of thing. It is petroleum-based, and it goes on the cork, okay? And what this does is protects the cork from drying out, okay? So we use that on the mouthpiece of the clarinet, on the cork, so that we save it. And there are other corks on the clarinet, by the way, that you use this for. This is Rico brand. You can get this at West End Music in Allentown. You could order it on Amazon. It's called cork grease, C-O-R-K grease. Okay. Next, very important, the reed. Okay, the reed is made of wood, as you can tell, okay, bamboo reed. It goes from a thicker part up here to a very thin part. The tip of the reed up here, never touch that with your finger, never, okay? I'm gonna show you some things of how to be careful with it. But this is the tip down here. If I turn it over, you can see, I'm gonna hold it up. You can see that the name of the brand is on it, Rico. You can see that on the bottom here, and it tells you what strength the reed is. This is a 2.0. It's a number 2 reed, which is what everyone plays on right now. Okay? But this side with the name is the flat side, okay? Very important you remember the flat side, okay? What we do when we take our instrument out, the reed is not on the mouthpiece yet, okay? It's in its little plastic covering. It should have... You can see this is in a plastic covering here. It should be in that, okay? And then I want to show you on the mouthpiece something that goes along with this that's really, really important, okay? On the mouthpiece, there's one side that is totally flat, okay? This side right here is totally flat. You'll notice it has the opening in it, okay? The other side has the name of the brand on it, and it's thicker and it slopes down and everything, and there is no opening on this side. We want the side that has the opening. This flat part up top is called the table, okay? First thing we do when we take the reed out, we put it on our mouth, wet the reed, okay? For about a minute. A good thing to do is when you're getting ready to practice, if you have a little glass of water, you could put the reed in the water for about a minute and then take it out if you didn't want to put it in your mouth, okay? Then throw the water away or drain, down a drain. I'm going to take the flat side of the reed, that's the side of the reed that's even and flat and has the name of the reed on it, and put it against the table, okay? Notice right now that my fingers are nowhere near the tip of the reed, okay? I'm gonna use both of my thumbs and I'm gonna position it on here where I want it. Now, when I look at the reed, okay, down here, I wanna put the reed so that the tip of the reed is at the tip of the mouthpiece. If I looked at the reed from this side, if I turned it to the other side and I looked at it, I should not see the reed, okay? That's where it should be. So now I'm gonna take the metal part that's called the ligature. When I put the ligature on, you'll see with this ligature, hopefully you can see it, the top part is smaller around than the bottom, okay? I'm going to take it. I have my thumb on the reed. It's in its place. I'm going to very carefully, so I don't hit the tip, put the ligature on, and I'm going to hold my reed in place, okay, with my fingers up here, okay, and I'm going to slide it down. Mine is being ridiculous right now. Okay. So, notice again, I'm not touching the top. I'm not touching the tip, okay? I'm using my thumbs to move it where I want it so that it's centered, okay? So you see this, the reed is centered on the mouthpiece. Notice the screws down here. The screws are facing, as you're looking at it, to the right, okay? So the screws are facing to the right. When it goes down, on the back of the mouthpiece, you might see that there's like a little lip or a little ridge in the middle. The ligature has to go down below that. So if it's not going down below it, you loosen the screws and you push it down a little, okay, until it'll fit down there. All the time, making sure that the reed stays in place, all right? So now it's on, okay, and it's past that lip. I'm going to tighten my bottom screw till it's really firm. Not crank it, but I'm going to tighten it till it's firm. The top one, I'm not going to tighten as much, okay? Then I have my other piece of the clarinet that's called the barrel, okay? I'm going to put my mouthpiece onto the barrel. That's why I put cork grease on, so I could put it on the barrel like this, okay? How do I check if it's right? I'm gonna actually play it. And I can get a sound easily. That means it's right, okay? That is the finished product, and now it's ready to be put on the clarinet and played, okay? It's centered, everything is correct. We didn't touch the tip, okay? That's one. And I'm gonna put my mouthpiece cap on it so that it's protected. Move that over here. Again, with the saxophone now, we have our ligature, same as the clarinet. They're not the same size, but they're the same types of parts. Mouthpiece, reed, I'm gonna put this in my mouth. Mouthpiece cap, plastic, and the neck. The neck is the part that's in there, the longer part with the cork on it. Again, I'm gonna put some cork grease on here. Okay. I went all around the cork, put on a light coating of it. It doesn't have to be a huge, it doesn't, grind it in and put tons of it on it. Just a light coating around once a week. Okay. That's good for now. Now, this is a little different than the clarinet in terms of what we're going to do first. The first thing we're going to do, the first thing we would actually do when we would open our case is we would put our reed in our mouth or in a little cup of water for a minute. During that time, I would take the mouthpiece and I would put, if you see where the hole in the mouthpiece is down here on the table, this is the table of the mouthpiece, just like we learned with the clarinet. There's a table here and there's an opening in the middle. This is going to be facing down so that the logo is facing up. Your neck is going to be facing down too, and you're going to put the mouthpiece and carefully twist it on. And when you get it on, the logo up here, see mine says Yamaha, the logo here is going to match up with this key, with this opening right here. Okay, if I turn it over, I can see the opening down here. Okay, so that's ready now. Next thing I'm going to do, okay, same as before, I've got my reed, tip of the reed on top, bottom. The name of the reed, the name of the company is on the bottom, on the flat side, okay? Flat side of the reed, flat side of the mouthpiece, the table, okay? Line it up with my thumbs. Don't touch the tip. Hold it in place with your thumb. Make sure it's right on the back, that you can't see it on the back. Make sure it's right. Ligature. Slide it on, big part down. And you're going to slide it straight down so that the screws, again, just like on the clarinet, are on the right, okay? There's a bigger lip on this one, a bigger ledge on the back here. So we're going to make sure that we get down from it, okay? So I loosen up my screws a little bit and I pull them down, okay? Then on some of these ligatures, they might have an opening, and you can see on mine that the logo, the Yamaha logo, is showing through the hole here. That's how I know that it's right, okay? Then I'm gonna make sure my reed is flat and centered on here. I'm using my thumb and my forefinger to push it back and forth. If it has to go up any, I'm gonna use my thumb on the bottom. I'm gonna use my thumb on top to stabilize it. I'm gonna use my thumb on bottom to push or maybe even pull down, okay? But I don't need to do that because it's right now. I'm gonna tighten the bottom screw. Screws are facing to the right. I'm gonna tighten my top one, but not as much, okay? And now it'll look like this, okay? And I'll know it's right. That's the way it should be. The next thing I would do is I would put this on the instrument itself and I'd be ready to play, okay? Put my mouthpiece cap on and I'm ready to go. So there's your saxophone mouthpiece all put together with its cap on. Here's your clarinet one with it all put on, okay? So these are important. If you're one of my new students, I would really love for you to watch this video a few times because I want you to get really good at putting it together, at putting your mouthpiece together so that it can safely go on the clarinet or the saxophone and we can have really good lessons, all right? That's it for now. I hope this was helpful. Thanks again.